Can you hear the ticking? Don't worry, it's not a bomb. I've nicked the timer from the kitchen as a way of illustrating Habakkuk. This has saved me from many a disaster. I'm not much of a cook, to be honest. My wife loves to follow directions. I'm more open the cupboards, see what we've got, throw it together, chuck it in the oven, and keep your fingers crossed. But this saves me from disasters, from undercooking, but also overcooking. Now, many of us will know the book of Habakkuk because of one particular verse, or half a verse actually, the second half of verse 4 in chapter 2. The righteous will live by faith. And that's picked up by Paul, who uses it as a key stone in his argument, as we'll see in the book of Romans. And it's also picked up by the reformers, by Calvin, and first of all by Luther. I'm going to have to stop this from ticking because it's really distracting. There we go. Um, so that verse, the righteous will live by faith, is key for Paul and also 1500 years later in the Protestant Reformation for Luther and for Calvin. But the rest of the book is a struggle with the reality of life and the fact that the wicked seem to be prospering. How long, Lord, will this go on? How is it that the wicked are prospering and the righteous are being oppressed? And we're not sure precisely when the book of Habakkuk is set, sometime in the 7th century, so after the Assyrians have defeated the northern kingdom, but as the Babylonian threat seems to be growing as we head towards the 6th century, when early on Jerusalem will be defeated. It was pretty bad watching the Assyrians destroy the northern kingdom, but what the Babylonians look like they're going to do to the southern kingdom seems even worse, says Habakkuk. But in the midst of that comes this encouragement to hold on, to live by faith. The rest of chapter 2 is an exploration, a warning, if you like, against taking shortcuts. Don't try and secure your own existence through other means, through storing wealth or worshipping other gods, says Habakkuk. No, hold fast to God because he will hold fast to you. In response to theodicy, the problem of evil, Habakkuk gifts us eschatology, to trust in God and his ultimate future reality, which one day will come to pass. But don't try and undercook it. Don't open the oven door and pull it out before things are ready, says Habakkuk. Don't try and achieve things through your own ends. No, as with cooking, interrupt things and you'll ruin it. No, you need to wait until the right time. When is that? Well, Habakkuk says we don't know. There is no timer counting down, unfortunately, only if there was. No, instead, we need to wait and we need to trust. Who are we trusting? Well, one who is worthy of trust, says Habakkuk. And that's why the third chapter is a hymn of praise. In the midst of the difficulties he experiences, in the midst of that reality which he faces, Habakkuk dares to live by faith and to trust in a more ultimate reality, to trust in a God of goodness who will bring that ultimate reality to bear on the reality that Habakkuk is enduring. Though he doesn't know when that will be, he has complete confidence that it will be. And so he praises God in the most remarkable way in that third and final chapter of the book of Habakkuk. It's about time then. It's about evil. It's about God. It's about his ultimate reality. It's about how God will triumph over all things. And it's an invitation to trust. Because even if it's about waiting and even if we don't know when, well, that way is more sure and more certain than anything else on offer, however tempting it might be. So resist the temptation, says Habakkuk. Trust and look to God alone. For him, in him alone, will be our ultimate reality. And in him alone, we will triumph. The book of Habakkuk, then, truly, the righteous will live by faith.